Chapter 2. Layers and Animation in Adobe Animate CC. Layers are like transparent sheets of plain glass stacked one on the top of the other. With the help of these, you can draw and edit objects on one layer without affecting the objects on the other layer. The layer on top is the highest, and the layer at the bottom is the lowest in the stacking order. You can see their stacking order in the timeline. To draw, paint, or otherwise modify a layer or folder, select a layer in the timeline to make it active. A pencil icon next to a layer or folder name in the timeline indicates that the layer or folder is active. Only one layer can be active at a time, although more than one layer can be selected at a time. Adding a layer. To organize the artwork, animation, and other elements in your document, you can add more layers. Layers do not increase the file size of your published SWF file. By default, the name of the first layer is Layer. The layers added will be named in the sequential order. For example, the second layer will be Layer 2, then Layer 3, and so on. When you create a layer, it appears above the selected layer. The new layer becomes the active layer. To add a layer, choose any of the following steps. Step 1. Click the New Layer button at the bottom left of the timeline. Or Step 1. Select Insert, Timeline, Layer. Rename a layer. To rename the layers, choose any of the following. Step 1. Double-click the name of the layer or folder in the timeline and enter a new name. Or Step 1. Right-click the name of the layer or folder and select Properties from the context menu. Enter the new name in the name box and click OK. Hide or show a layer. To hide or show the layers, follow the given steps. Step 1. Click on the eye icon above the layers. A cross appears in the eye column. You will find that all the contents disappear from the stage. Step 2. Click again in the eye column corresponding to the layer you want to show. It will remove the cross mark from the column and it is replaced by dot. Lock a layer. You can lock a layer if you wish to avoid any further changes to the content added by you in that layer. To lock a layer, follow the given steps. Step 1. Select the layer to make it active. Step 2. In the timeline, click on the white dot under the lock column. A padlock icon will appear, indicating that the layer is locked now. Step 3. Using the selection tool, try to drag the locked layer on the stage. You will not be able to do so. Step 4. In the timeline, click again on the lock column to unlock the layer. It will remove the padlock icon and replace it by dot. Delete a layer. To delete a layer, follow the steps. Step 1. Select the layer by clicking its name in the timeline or any frame in the layer. Step 2. To delete, choose any one of the following ways. Click the Delete layer in the timeline. Drag the layer or folder to the Delete layer option. Right-click the layer name and select Delete layer from the context menu. Masking. Mask layer is a way to selectively hide and display the content on a layer. For spotlight effects and transitions, use a mask layer to create a hole through which underlying layers are visible. Creating a mask layer. Step 1. Open a new file. Step 2. Draw an aeroplane and using the fill color from the property inspector, color it. Step 3. Double-click on the layer and type the name aeroplane. Step 4. Choose the selection tool from the Tools panel and select the aeroplane. Step 5. Convert the aeroplane to a graphic symbol by selecting the Modify, Convert to Symbol. Step 6. Using the Selection tool, drag the aeroplane off the stage at the bottom left side on the work area. Step 7. Right-click on Frame 1 and select Create Motion Tween option from the context menu that appears. Drag the playhead to frame 24. Step 8. Select the aeroplane and drag it to the top right side corner of the stage. Step 9. Insert a new layer and rename it as Mask. Step 10. Select the Rectangle tool and pick the fill color. Draw a rectangle shape in the center of the stage. The width of the rectangle should be larger than the aeroplane symbol. Step 11. Right-click on the mask layer and select the mask option from the context menu that appears. This will convert the layer to a mask layer and the tween layer gets indented underneath. Both layers are locked automatically. Step 12. Press Ctrl plus Enter or select Ctrl, Test Movie in Animate to preview the animation. The text animates through the stage. Onion skinning. The onion skin feature allows you to see a faint ghost image of the previous frame, which helps you in placing the image for the next frame. By clicking the onion skin option, you can see several frames before and after the current frame. Onion skin features allows you to view an outline of the object in any number of frames. When you select this option, the frame on which you are working appears in full color, while the surrounded selected frames appear dimmed. To use this feature, follow the given steps. Step 1. Click the Onion Skin button at the bottom of the timeline. All frames between the Start Onion Skin and End Onion Skin markers in the timeline header are superimposed as one frame in the document window. Step 2. Drag the markers above the timeline to view multiple frames at once. Step 3. This will display all the frames superimposed over each other. Creating an animation using onion skin. Step 1. Open a new file. Step 2. Draw a rocket. Step 3. Select the Onion Skin button. Step 4. Right-click on Frame 2 and select the Insert Keyframe option from the context menu. Step 5. Choose the Selection tool from the Tools panel and double-click on the rocket. Move it slightly. Step 6. Click on the stage to deselect the rocket. Step 7. Now place the arrow next the tip of the rocket. When you get an angle symbol between the arrow, drag the tip of the rocket to a different angle. Step 8. Click on the frame 3 and press F6 to insert a keyframe. Step 9. Repeat the above steps to insert keyframes from frame 4 to 15. Make changes in each new frame. Step 10. Select the control Loop Playback so that you can see the animation repeatedly. Step 11. Select Control Play to view the animated effect on the rocket. Tweened animation. Tween comes from the word in between. Through tweening, you can go from one keyframe to another keyframe and specify changes in the animation. Let's explain. The two types of tweened animations are motion tweening. It is a type of animation where you specify the beginning and the end position of the object. It is required to convert the object into a symbol before applying motion tween. Create motion tween. To create motion tween, follow the given steps. Step 1. Select frame 1 and draw and color an object, let's say a car. Step 2. Select the object and right-click on it. Step 3. Choose Convert to Symbol to create a symbol or press F8. Step 4. Select any other frame on the timeline and click on Insert Frame. Step 5. Hold Shift key and select all frames in between first and last frame. Right-click and choose Create Motion Tween. A blue-colored span of the selected frames appears on the timeline and the layer gets converted to Tween layer. Step 6. Drag the object, that is, car on the stage, to the desired position. A motion path appears on the stage with dots indicating the position of the object for each frame. Step 7. Press Ctrl plus Enter or select Ctrl Test Movie in Animate to play the movie and view the shape tween. Motion Guide. Motion Guide helps you to move an object in a defined path. Instead of making an object to move along a straight line, you can make it follow an arbitrary path from one location to another. This is done with the help of Motion Guide. To edit motion path, follow the given steps. Step 1. Select the pencil tool and select the pencil mode to smooth from the options section in the Tools panel. Draw a bird as shown in the figure and fill color in its various parts using the Paint Bucket tool. Step 2. Convert it into a symbol by selecting Modify, Convert to Symbol option. Step 3. In the Convert to Symbol dialog box, enter the name bird in the name text box and select the graphic option from the Type drop-down list. Step 4. Now double-click on Layer 1 and rename it to Bird. Step 5. Select Insert, Timeline, Layer to create a new layer on the timeline. Rename this layer to Flying Bird. Step 6. Select the pencil tool from the Tools panel and select Stroke Color from the Properties panel. Draw a path on the stage that the object, bird, will follow while in motion. Step 7. Choose the Selection tool and double-click on the path to select it. Now select Edit, Cut to remove the path from the stage temporarily. Step 8. Click on the layer Bird. Right-click on the frame 1 and choose Create Motion Tween option from the context menu. A colored span of frames appears. Step 9. Choose Edit, Paste in Place to paste the path in this layer. The path automatically gets converted to a motion path and the bird symbol itself snaps to the path. Step 10. Drag the playhead to frame 24. Step 11. Press Ctrl plus Enter or select Ctrl, Test Movie in Animate to test the bird following the path that you have created. Shape tweening. It is a type of animation which is used to transform the shape of an object into another. It does not work if the object is converted into symbol or is grouped. To create shape tween, follow the given steps. Step 1. Select the stroke color and fill color. Draw a circle at first keyframe. Step 2. On the same layer, right-click on frame 15 and choose Insert Blank Keyframe from the context menu. Step 3. In frame 15, draw a triangle using Polystar tool. Step 4. On the same layer, right-click on frame 30 and choose Insert Blank Keyframe from the context menu. Step 5. In frame 30, draw a rectangle using Rectangle tool. Step 6. Select any frame between frame 1 and 15. Click on Insert and then click on Create Shape Tween. A green shaded area with a solid arrow will appear between these two keyframes. Step 7. Repeat the same for frame 15 to frame 30. Step 8. Press Ctrl plus Enter or select Ctrl, Test Movie in Animate to play the movie and view the shape tween. Tint Tweening. Tint tweening is used to change the color of an object. This effect works only on symbols and cannot be added to the objects that are directly drawn on the canvas of the movie. To use tint tweening, follow the steps given below. Step 1. Select the Text tool in the Tools panel. You can make changes in the formatting of the text in Properties panel. Select Text, Family, Comic Sans, MS to set font type. Step 2. Select Text, Size, 48 to set font size and select Text, Style, Bold to make text bold. Step 3. Type the text Tint Tweening in the work area. Step 4. Click on the Selection tool and select the text. Now click on the Modify, Convert to Symbol. Step 5. In the Convert to Symbol dialog box, type the name Tint for the symbol in the Name text box. Select the Graphic option from the Type drop-down list and click OK. Step 6. Select the frame 20 in the timeline and press F5 to insert a frame. Insert keyframe at frame 10, frame 15 and frame 20. Step 7. To add tint effect, select frame 1 and click on the type text. Step 8. In the Property Inspector, select Tint from the drop-down list of the Style option under the Color Effect section. Move the slider to set the colors to blue equal to 255, green equal to 0, red equal to 0, RGB colors. Step 9. Similarly, add Tint Tweening to frame 10 and set colors to G equal to 255, B equal to 0 and R equal to 0, and at frame 15, R equal to 255, B equal to 0 and G equal to 0. Step 10. Right-click on the timeline at any place between frame 1 and frame 10 and select the Create Motion Tween option from the drop-down menu. Do the same between frame 10 and 15 and between frame 15 and frame 20. Step 11. Click on the control Test Movie in Animate and view the Tint Tweening effect on the text. Text Shape Tween. Text Shape Tweening lets you convert one shape of text to another shape in order to create animation. In Shape Tweening, you cannot convert an object into a symbol. To create a text shape tween, follow the steps given below. Step 1. Select the Text tool and choose Text, Size 48 and select Text, Style, Bold to make the text thick. And Text, Color, Red from Properties panel under Character section. Step 2. Type the text on the stage in the first frame of the timeline. Select Window, Align. In the Align panel, select the Align to Stage button. Click on the Align Horizontal Center button and Align Vertical Center button under the Align section. Close the Align panel by clicking on the drop-down menu triangle and choosing the Close Group option. Step 3. Move the pointer at frame 50. Select Insert, Timeline, Keyframe option from the pop-up menu. Step 4. Select frame 1 and choose Break Apart option from the Modify menu. The letters break into separate blocks. Step 5. Again, select Break Apart option. Note the text gets converted into shape. Step 6. Now right-click on frame 25 and select Insert Blank Keyframe option. Step 7. Type some new text and align horizontal center and vertical center. Step 8. Select the text in frame 25, then select Modify, Break Apart twice. Step 9. Right-click between the frame 1 and frame 25 and select Create Shape Tween option from the context menu. Step 10. Right-click between the frame 25 and frame 50 and select Create Shape Tween option. Step 11. Select the Control Play option to play the animation. Lesson Sum Up. Layers are like transparent sheets of plain glass stacked one on the top of the other. Layers helps to place and animate different objects independent of each other. To organize the artwork, animation, and other elements in your document, you can add more layers. Layers do not increase the file size of your published SWF file. Mask layer is a way to selectively hide and display the content on a layer. Onion skin features allows you to view an outline of the object in any number of frames. Motion guide helps you to move an object in a defined path. Tint tweening is used to change the color of an object. Tint tweening works only on symbols.